Welcome to part 2 of Let's Play Endless Space Horatio, and today we are continuing right from where we left off. And the first thing we're going to do is buy us a hero. So, there are 3 types of heroes: a pilot, a corporate. Well, actually I lied, there's more than 3 types. There's apparently an adventurer class. Actually, let's see what the adventurer is. I've never bothered to look. So, damage, defense. Alright, I don't know what this is. Fuck it. Anyway, yeah, so there's a corporate, which increases a corporate. Okay, there's apparently 4 hero classes. There could be more. There's probably more. I'm a noob, so just bear with me. Yes, thank you. Okay, so this corporate class gives you extra industry and I lied. Don't listen to me. Okay, now you can listen to me. It gives you extra dust and science. The pilot class gives you extra damage and defense and stuff. The administrator class gives you extra industry and food. And we already went over to corporate. And apparently, the adventurer class is talented for spying, killing, sneaking, or stealing, and other stuff. Anyway, we're going to go with the middle one, called Laharat, only because it is corporate and an administrator, and that's going to increase our industry in the Auva system, which is our only colonized system at the moment. And if you go here, we'll see how much it adds. So currently it adds 1.3 industry. So let's hit next turn. This is going to take a few minutes. There it is. Okay, cool. That's nice. Okay, so these wormholes allow passage to other systems. Well, not systems, clusters of systems. For example, this entire cluster is like, you can't go anywhere without this cluster, without researching the advanced Casimir effect, which will allow you to go for this wormhole. And a trend I have found is that the systems around the wormhole tend to be trade routes, like heavily traded areas, because once you connect all these systems together by colonizing them and increasing their influence thing, this green thing, I'll go into more depth as we get there for this Let's Play. Items become traded in between these systems, and then when you meet other nations, you trade between those nations. And one of the hotspots just automatically is a system near the wormhole. This very stable wormhole. These are very rare in the Star Trek universe, by the way. In fact, it's so rare that the one time they find it, it is in Deep Space Nine. In fact, Deep Space Nine is the space station that is located next to the first stable wormhole discovered in the Stargate universe. Star Trek universe. Anyway, so we just discovered titanium, which means we also discovered heavy isotope refineries for our tech tree. So titanium is used for better ship hulls, and we're going to need better ship hulls. Well, okay, so this is how it goes. Let's research this. Okay, so let me explain. I'm going to be as clear as I can without confusing you guys. Okay, so the capacity of a hull, like the capacity between these 2 hulls, this the 3 hulls we start with, and this one, the comms hull. I lied. We start with 2 hulls. No. We start with 2 hulls, and then you unlock. There's like 3 to unlock. There's a total of 5 hulls, and the reason you unlock these hulls, for example, the difference between the comms class and the current one, is just like extra space. This becomes 200, but it also subtracts 20% weapon module tonnage on a ship. So the 200 I said earlier So let's go and add, and we have 2 hulls to select from, so they call them class, we'll just call them hull. This is 100. That minus 20% from weapons will subtract 20% mass from the module, allowing it to carry more weapons. That's all it does. And in fact, this hull over here, the one we get from baryonic shielding, the Duck's ship class, decreases that tonnage by 25% on armor, invasion, and power, which makes it ideal as a battleship. Well, not necessarily ideal, but the armor tonnage is usually good for business. Like when you're in these massive giant ship battles, fleet battles, you want to be tanky so you can eat most of their bullets. I mean, railguns and lasers. Okay, so I'm researching the industry exploit at Fatia only because everyone likes the industry. Because industry allows us to produce system upgrades and spaceships much faster. And we just had an exploration event, so this event allows us to get. This event creates another scout ship. So we're going to merge these 2 fleets and move them to the Zeon system, where we will definitely colonize. In fact, let's see, what do we need? There's Arctic, lava. Okay, so odds are we're going to colonize a tundra, and well, tundra or Arctic. So let's just see how much stuff it is. Okay, so we can colonize a tundra if we let's go research that. We're gonna need the tundra. We are going to need the Zeon system, and I guess I should rather get it now than later. It's more of a priorities thing, I guess. But regardless, we will get the Casimir effect soon, and once we have that wonderful Casimir effect, we will be able to go for these wormholes. God, that was a mouthful. Anyone following CES recently? All the International Consumer Electronics Show. It's lots of good shit there. Okay, so every time your hero levels up, you get to choose abilities. I like to think of them as perks because they are perks, and each of these perks give your hero extra bonuses. So we could go with Director 2. It will increase our food and production percentage on the system by 8%, and or we could go with Negotiator, which increases it by 4%. I mean 6%. Or we could go with like Civil Engineer, which gives us plus 15 industry. And there's also the Ministry of Propaganda, which gives us plus 30 happiness. So we're going to go with Civil Engineering for the time being, only because, like I have said previously, industry will allow us to industry will allow us to do a lot of things like create new fleets, faster system upgrades and stuff. Okay. Alright, so there is no tundra here, but oh, actually, right, so once we have this done, we will probably go and colonize here. So you could hit that, and that'll get colonized in 39 turns. But it'll be much faster because we will gain extra industry and stuff. So you probably noticed that I've been using the phrase industry and production interchangeably throughout this video, only because I play Civilization, and in Civilization they call it production. I guess you could call it industry. I mean, I don't see what's wrong with it, to be honest. They're both roughly the same. The meaning is at least the meanings are the same. Yeah. So now the Aruva system has 50 industry, which allows us to produce a reproducer in 3 turns, and we will definitely get at least. Let's see, when are we done with this tech? Yeah, in fact, we just finished that. So yeah, we'll just get a bunch of those, and let's see when our hero levels up. So let's see, click, no, inspect. All right, our hero will level up soon, meaning we can clone him. And cloning is one of the benefits of the Horatio. They can clone their heroes, and every time you clone a hero, they keep the perks, the level, they keep everything. It's just like an identical copy, pretty much. So when you have fleets, you can defend systems. And in fact, when you're about to take an enemy system, you basically hit this, which I guess it says invade, but it's not really invading, I guess. Anyway, we're going to go with the Ministry of Propaganda, which will give us plus 30 something. What is this? Fuck. Plus 30 approval, I guess? Yeah, approval on a system. So, as you can see, Uva just became 72% happy. I mean, approve. They have an approval rate of 72%, which places them in the category of happy. So, yeah, that's good. Alright, let's create this reproducer, send it to the Xeon system, and once we have that done, we will go to the Merope, then the Menes, and connect to the Fetia system. And we'll unturn. Wow. Alright. Well, we'll colonize the tundra. Actually, the tundra is like the best one to colonize at the moment anyway, so that's good. In fact, it has a low gravity bonus, so I don't wonder if that'll give us like better ship construction. I'm just curious if it would, because if it can, that'd be great. Like, that would do some awesome stuff. That would be some good shit. Because like I don't know if these ships are being built in orbit of the planets or inside the planets. They don't make that very clear. And I just said build it, didn't I? I meant constructed. Damn, that sounded horrible. Okay, so let's hit the next turn. And we just completed another reproducer, so we'll create this and send it to the Merope system. And yeah, so fly. Okay, go. Good. So I don't know if you noticed, the population of a system goes down as you create a colony ship. So for example, every time I create one of these, it loses 1 population to colonize the other one. And we are going to go clone our hero now. So we're going to assign our clone to the, let's see. Alright, fuck it. Let's go to the Xeon system. It's closer. Only because, like, I was going to place him in Fetia, but I'm pretty sure Fetia will do fine once it gets up on its feet. So, we'll just leave it alone for the time being. But we are going to increase our tax, so we do make some money. Oh, come on. It's horrible. Alright. Okay, looks like we're going to stagnate in terms of revenue for now. And the next time our hero levels up, we'll just invest in... We'll just place our abilities in something else. The corporate, to give us extra science and dust, because stagnating and losing money in this game is not good. You need the dust to trade with other nations. You also need it to upgrade your fleets as you make modifications to your ships. And if you do not do that properly, like if you don't if you do not apply upgrades, if you don't what was I gonna say? If you do not upgrade your ships consistently, like let's say every like 100 turns you learn new weapons technologies, and if you don't integrate them properly, like if they don't have a certain sequence, odds are that your fleet's going to be weak, and weak fleets are bad fleets. I can vouch for that. Alright, so we're not doing bad right now. We have 149. That is our score in the game, and we just ran out of time, so wow. Alright, we are doing fine. We're in second place at the moment, but to keep that place, we gotta keep expanding and build more ships and learn more technologies. So we gotta keep up the good work, pretty much, to win this Let's Play. So we just ran out of time, and wow, my friend just sent me his link to the Gary's mod mod he's working on, which we will definitely have a video on soon. Anyway, like and sub, and I will see you guys in the next video sometime soon. So yeah, like and sub.